So, you're struggling to come up with ideas for videos for your business, or the thought of coming up with ideas all the time, forever, seems daunting. You know that businesses can use YouTube to help them grow, but you don't know where to start. If this sounds like you, stick around. I think I can help. I'm going to show you step-by-step process on how I take my business and branch it out into unlimited video ideas. I'm giving you the secret sauce here, plus a little bonus tip at the end. So let's get into this. Okay, so the first thing you need is a place to write all of this down. I use a Notion page that we created. I've linked the free template down below, so use it. Any form of writing works. You can use your Notes app or a Google Sheet or just a pen and paper. It really doesn't matter. Once you've got this secured, we can start. So if your business doesn't have a core message, you need one. You need one. A business's core message is a single line that explains who you are and what you do. It's your business's North Star. All videos must point back to this message. My company's core message is make cool shit. I recently worked with a local printing shop called Minutemen Press in Santa Clara. Go support them. Their core message is, we help businesses grow through fast, reliable printing and marketing. With our core message set, we can move on to the next step. If your goal is to be a personal brand on YouTube, then we would work on your pillars of interest next. But I'm assuming you're not trying to be the next Mr. Beast. So we can move on. Your company's core message is enough for these purposes. So our next step is the core ideas. I want you to really think hard about your business. Start with the core idea of your business. My business is filmmaking, so the first thing I think of is cameras. So great, let's write that down. And the next thing that comes to mind are lenses and lighting. So let's write that down. Now for Minutemen Press, some of the core fundamentals of the business were, they make prints, service done by real people, delivery, women owned. Now this is a perfect starting spot. Now we're gonna take these ideas and break them down as much as possible. Each idea that you write down is a branch extending off of your core ideas. For my business, we'll look at cameras. First, they capture images. There are many brands. Technology has changed a lot. They're expensive. They are usually black, but not always. So on and so forth. I'm trying to keep this to higher level thoughts on the first tier and write lower level thoughts as second tier ideas. As an example, I wrote down there are many brands. I also thought, what is the brand that I use? This is a third tier thought because it can be categorized under one of the second tier thoughts. Does that make sense? So we'll take that idea and put it under the many brands idea. Now, let's break it down again. Starting with they capture images. Some take pictures, some take video, some do both. There are different sensor sizes. Image quality has gotten better over the years. Or how do they capture images? Just to give you some off the top of the head examples. Now let's do the same thing for Minutemen Press. Starting with they make prints. They can print on any medium, large or small prints, large or small orders, and we'll just start with that. This is just an example to show how it can be applied to anything. Now, let's break it down again. Starting with can print on any medium. Paper prints, apparel, wood, acrylic, and there's so many more, but this is plenty for our purposes. Now, because we can, we're gonna break it down one more time. Sticking with paper prints. So there's glossy or matte, high quality versus low, thick or thin, standard or photo. The goal is to branch each core idea down as far as you can go. The more you can branch off your ideas, the more you have to work with. So hopefully you can see how we're starting off with double digits, even triple digit ideas here. Now you may already have some ideas from our breakdowns. And sure, you can make a video about anything. But let's take a step back. Turning an idea into YouTube gold takes some more finesse. It takes some
strategery.
So we're gonna run these ideas through this handy dandy formatting template. This is courtesy of Aprilynne Alters on YouTube. She's got some really great content. Go check out her page after you're done watching this video. I'll link it below. This template is super useful to turn an idea into a YouTube video idea. So let's take a look. We're gonna use the 4th tier idea for Minutemen Press, glossy or matte. It's always a good practice to take a look through YouTube for any related videos. It can inform you about what's working and what isn't. For myself, I just look for the top performing videos on the topic to see what the format and angles are. Again, this depends on your overall goal with getting into YouTube. This can help inform what resonates with people. But your business might not be the most flashy, so your mileage may vary. Now this is where things get juicy. The format is your overall style of the video. There's a ton of formats, but to name a few of them, we have tutorial, challenge, breakdown, commentary, vlog, and interview. And these can be combined as well. So pick your format. The initial instinct is to do a video just telling people the differences between glossy and matte paper. And this would fall under the category of breakdown. But let's see how else this can be formatted. Starting at the top with tutorial. So how would you do a tutorial of glossy and matte paper? Easy. You can talk about how each of these paper types are made. How would you make this video a challenge? Easy. Just pit them both against each other under a bunch of different circumstances and see which comes out. What about a commentary? Simple. Which paper do I like and why? In a vlog? No sweat. Turn on the phone and brain dump about glossy versus matte paper. And of course, there's interview, which is pretty obvious. Talk to somebody else about their opinions on glossy versus matte. Now, let's add an angle. Now that we've got our format down, we need to pick an angle. The angle is what takes an idea from good to great. Using these will help trigger potential audience curiosities. Sure, a video on the differences between glossy and matte paper might be interesting to some, but a video like, we tested the 1-cent paper against the $1,000 paper.
You have my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
When there's so many other videos on YouTube about a topic, you want to add an angle to be unique. Now there's so many different angles possible, but here's a list of some just to get you started. Superlatives, stakes, money, comprehensive, time, comparison, beginner, authority, outcome, and controversial. Like I said, there's way more than this. This is more than enough for our purposes. And not all of these might work for your video idea. So start with just one angle. As you get used to the process, you can add more. I tend to stick to 1 or 2, depending on the topic. Most of the time for myself, the angle comes naturally with the format. If I'm doing a tutorial video about glossy versus matte paper, it's already a comparison video. But let's take it a step further. What video ideas can we come up with using some of these other angles? This also might help you figure out your title. Superlatives, hunting for the best paper. Stakes, I gambled on pitching this paper to our biggest client. Money, like I said before, we tested the 1-cent paper against the $1,000 paper. Time, we had 24 hours to find the best paper possible. Comprehensive, we tested every kind of paper available. List, top 10 paper brands. Familiarity, Tom Hanks weighs in, or Disney uses these brands, or AI rates the types of paper. Topic, but a twist. We rated these papers blind. Transformation, I went from using the worst paper to the best. For beginner, I'm buying my first photo prints. How about for authority? The top paper designer explains the makeup of glossy and matte paper. Outcome? I'm not really sure for that one. Mistakes and regrets? I should have never used this kind of paper. Controversial? This is the type of paper you should never buy. These are just examples off the top of my head by thinking about how I can apply these angles. And this is one idea branched off of another branch off of another branch of ideas. So we're already starting with so many ideas. Now lastly, let's take this list of ideas and run it through the criteria checklist. This is the final check before you're ready to start scripting. So this is going to be up to your own discernment. First, Is it feasible? I'm probably not going to be able to get Tom Hanks in my YouTube video, so let's nix that one. But maybe you can get Tom Hanks. Then do it. Is it interesting enough that new audiences will click? Doing some background research on your topic in YouTube can help inform this. But again, mileage may vary when it comes to promoting your business on YouTube. But I would be interested in watching people rate papers blindly myself. So maybe that one's a winner. Will our existing audience be interested? This is important, especially as a business owner. Your core audience is what's the most likely to buy from you. Flashy ideas can bring in new views, but it can also alienate your core community. Or you just may not have an existing audience yet. In that case, you want to make sure you're sticking to your brand's core message.
If you build it, he will come.
Can this video reach your view goal? Do you even have a view goal? You may not, especially if you're just getting started. By this point, you should have already looked up the view counts on other videos on the same topic. This will inform you of a viewing potential, but this isn't a hard line. You could have a breakout idea, or it could flounder. Sometimes you just gotta take a risk when you really believe in an idea. Does it match your brand? By this point, an idea should be an automatic yes. So this is really just a triple check at this point. Do you have a strong title and thumbnail? YouTube video ideas live and die on the title and thumbnail. If it's not compelling enough to click, then no one's gonna see it. But that's a topic for another video. Once they've checked all the boxes, mark this idea as viable. If you've worked your list down, you should have dozens of viable ideas. And if you still aren't sure which one you like the most, just rank them on personal excitement, effort required, and the confidence in the idea. If it's a really hard video to do, maybe you put that one on the back burner until you can do it. If you're super excited about an idea, run with it. If you aren't sure people will care, maybe you just retool it a bit. This should help you narrow down on what ideas to focus on first, and if some should be planned out a little bit more, or just scrapped altogether. Now, here's the secret sauce to unlimited video ideas. I'm sure you pieced it together by now, because you're smart. By doing this initial legwork, we already have a ton of ideas. We cycle through our list of ideas, making a video on each topic. This gets all of our core ideas as a brand out there. You really don't want to get bogged down by doing a bunch of videos on one topic to start with. Get all of the points out there. Once we've finished with all of our ideas, and assuming you don't have any new ideas, then we just go right back through the list, except we change the format and the angle. If we previously did glossy versus matte as a tutorial with an angle of comparison and authority, let's change it up. Now let's do, say, a challenge with an angle of time and stakes. Run your entire list back through with different formats and angles. Rinse and repeat, unlimited ideas. Now I told you there would be a bonus tip at the end. As a business owner, here are 3 feasible ideas that you can add to your rotation. Number 1, customer testimonials. There's no better business than showing off happy customers. You still want to have a format and angle, but these can be a little bit more loose. Even if it's not for the views, it's for your core audience, who again will be more likely to buy from you. And who doesn't like to show off their work? Events. If your business hosts any events, promote the shit out of it. If you want people to come, you need to keep it on the tops of their minds. Using the formats and angles should help you devise how to change up each video. Charities. If you partner with any kind of charity, tell the people. It's good publicity to show that you give back to the community. I wouldn't go too heavy on the quantity here, but a good reminder video every few months doesn't hurt. Lean into all of the things that your business does. Good publicity is good publicity. And that's how I generate unlimited video ideas for my business. In my next video, I'm going to be covering how I script my videos. So make sure you like and subscribe, if you want to. Bingo, bango.